Yes, guys. So we are here with my client Ben. So Ben, introduce yourself.
So I'm Ben Stanley. Started with Lewis 12 weeks ago, are we?
12 weeks ago.
Yeah, 12 weeks in now. Different journey for me, but been a brilliant one so far. Really enjoyed it.
So talk to people. Where was you before you started? Like, why did you join coaching? Why was it right now, the time, all that sort of stuff?
So I think for me, it was, I've always been into the gym. I've always been into training. Obviously, I've boxed as well. I think for me, it was just that I've always gone up and down with it. I've always yo-yo dieted. 1 minute I was sticking with the routine, with the gym, with everything. Next minute it was fading away. So weight was up and down constantly as well. So I think for me to find some level of consistency was the most important thing, and change what had been a really up and down dieting phase, training phase, into more of a consistent lifestyle for me, really.
Yeah, fucking hell. Consistency turned into like a proper transformation, didn't it? Like
12 weeks was a
quite
intense, quick, good performance.
So just for clarity, you dropped like 14 kilos as of today.
Yeah, 14. We're dead on the
85 goals
85 today, aren't we? Yeah,
which is 12 weeks, 14 kg, which is a big drop for a lot of people. But as I always say, it's best to get in and out, and then you can build on top of that, which we're going to do now. So like, you know, obviously said there, like you wanted to get into it for consistency, but that's not obviously what you achieved. Like, what have you achieved now? Like, not just about physically, but where you're at all together.
I think across the board, it's a completely different mindset as well for me now. Like, that was one of the things that maybe I wasn't anticipating as much, was like, you know, everything's just become a routine for me now. It's not been something that I've got to constantly think about, constantly work towards. It's just become natural to me what I'm doing. You know, I think the big goal was to bring the weight down. That was the first thing. You know, always said that I wanted to try and get abs. Never had abs before in my life, which just about there.
With a little bit of a tense.
Yeah, tense and hard, but they come out eventually. You know, and just feeling confident in myself again, because I've found as me dieting drifted off, you know, you lose your confidence in your body and yourself generally, you know, not just your body, just generally. So I think that confidence has now come back, and that, you know, that thing of people saying, oh, you look well, or in the gym, like I've had a couple of things that I've told you about, like that lad who come up to me and just lifted me top up, and, you know, like it's mad.
Yeah.
You know, the way people act around you is just very, very different. But, you know, it's nice because every little thing like that just boosts your confidence a little bit more and just makes you feel a little bit better. So
definitely. What is the biggest thing you took away? Like, if there's one thing you could go, what the best thing you've taken from it so far within that 12 weeks? It could be to do with confidence, it could be to do with just basically how you look, whatever, but what is the one biggest thing, do you think?
I think it's just that changing. I think a big thing was, obviously I did the 10k, didn't I, which, you know, that
performance goal.
Yeah, so that wasn't part of the plan, but that come into the plan a couple of weeks in, and obviously I did that. Then obviously since I've booked the half marathon for the end of the year, and I think, you know, being able to, you know, a bit like on the post you did yesterday, you know, lifting the weight that I'm still lifting in the gym, being able to run a 10k in 45 minutes, planning towards a half marathon, you know, doing all these things while still lifting heavy, you know, enjoying snacks and food that I wouldn't usually be able to eat on. You know, I've done like fad diets in the past, and really just that, like chicken, rice and broccoli, you know, for 4 meals a day, and that's it. And, you know, I think that's where you don't find consistency with it, whereas the lifestyle that you've sort of shown me towards has meant that I can enjoy myself, do the things I want to do, train hard, lift heavy, but still perform on like a run or in boxing and stuff like that. So I think it's given me that all-round thing for me, that's been a big factor for me.
Yeah, like I think it all falls under the same umbrella. Like, you know, when you work on yourself, everything else evolves. But like, again, it's no coincidence that you're the person who started the running club. You're the person who's pushing for the next goal, because a good quote by Alphalete is like, proud but never satisfied. Abby hates that quote because he says you should be satisfied, but you want to work towards something more. There's always more. Definitely. And for me, like I always say, progression equals happiness. So if you're progressing, you're in a good position. Do you think you'd be doing the podcast 12 weeks ago?
No, definitely not. And I think the way I look at it, like from, you know, when I started, I sort of put a goal in, and we said like 85, and now obviously we've hit that. And I think, like you said then, it's what's next. You know, I'm satisfied with it, but I'm thinking of the next thing, like the 10k. The 10k was something I'd never done before. You know, maybe wasn't the biggest challenge for someone like me who's always been fairly active and fairly fit.
First 10K in 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah, because I'd never done that before. But, you know, I did that, and then straight after it, I was like, right, I want something else. And, you know, within a couple of days, I booked a half marathon. So I feel like that probably is like the right sort of motto that I'm leading towards, which is, yeah, I've done this, but now what's the next goal? What's the next thing? You know, let's keep going, let's keep pushing, let's see what next is. You know, whether that's getting bigger, getting leaner, you know, performance related stuff, whatever it is. I think it is just setting the next goals now.
But again, flip side of that is like you're not just happy now, like you're happy throughout the whole process. So like a lot of people think about, as you said, if we're going to look back 12 weeks ago when we jumped on a call and went, right, we're going to aim to get to 85k. We did in like 12 weeks, which is weird. I can't describe how bang on it's been with you every session, every day. Sad tangent, but basically, like, you're not just satisfied now, you're satisfied throughout the whole process. Same with the half marathon and probably a marathon.
Yeah.
You're going to be satisfied with the process as opposed to like, I've done it now, I'm satisfied. I think that's a massive thing, whereas people think, once I get to that goal, I'll be made up, I'm done. Whereas for you, it's like, and for everyone should be, you know, I'm working on myself constantly every day. I'm getting better. And again, it's cheesy, but enjoying the process over enjoying the destination, because trust me, the destination is, you've took them pictures and went,
it's nice.
That is sort of like,
because it's done in a sense. But you're right, the process has been enjoyable as well, because I've learned so much along the way. I've learned a lot about myself, because, you know, the changes in my body, the way I've developed in certain areas to do with me training, to do with nutrition, you know, all different things like that have all just come along as part of the journey. And I think that has been enjoyable, the whole process.
What is the most enjoyable part of the coaching? What is the one thing you found the most valuable?
I think for me, it's a combination of that constant communication with you, because obviously when I've had PTs before, I've always found it's very like, you've got an hour or 2 hours a week with them. You can pick the brains as much as you want, but once you walk out the gym and they've got the next client, it's sort of like your relationship then breaks until the next session. Whereas that constant communication with you, that being able to, you know, bounce ideas off you, pick your brains on different things, and off the back of that, the community. Because I think a massive part of what I've found with Tribe now is that community that you've built is just like unbelievable. You know, like one of the lads, I won't mention any names, posted something yesterday about feeling a bit down and not feeling himself, and to just see the amount of people who jumped on that straight away and were like, well, you know, you've took the first steps, you've spoken out now in the group to, you know, however many people in that group, and you've confessed to them all you don't feel good, you're not happy, and that's a massive step for someone in his position to take. And everyone was just supportive, everyone was looking after him, making sure he's okay. People have said, you know, if you want to reach out to me, please do. You know, and I think that community that you've built is something definitely to be proud of, and it's a part of it that for me has definitely helped, because when I've had little things that I wanted to bounce ideas off people, or like you post something in and you get loads of feedback off different people with different points of view, because everyone's on a different journey going to a different destination, aren't they?
Like, yeah, I think it's hard for me to, obviously it's my baby, so it's hard for me to, like, when I say it's nothing like anything else, it's not like anything else, people just think, oh, shut up. Whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But like, obviously, before you came in, I probably spoke to you about, we've got this community and this, and you're probably like, whatever. Was you skeptical with online coaching or coaching definitely, in general?
Yeah, coaching in general and online coaching particularly, because it, you know, to me, it's, like even when we did like the technique workshop, you know, to me, when I talked about a couple of things with you and with Abby and that, I was like, well, you know, I've got like a very old school mentality of training, like the old like 40, 50-year-old fellas in the gym who
pyramid
were like,
sets,
big like juiced up fellas who like are really training in a certain type of way that's a little bit not the best nowadays, but that's how they did it and that's how they've always done it. And I had a bit of a mentality like that. So I think the idea of being online, you know, not being face to face with you, not having you in the gym with me saying, well, don't do this, do that, change this, move here, do these things, that was, you know, a bit of a shock to me at first. But then like having that technique workshop so quickly into the process, that just took it to another level instantly for me, because I think straight away I was like, right, there is certain things I'm doing that aren't giving me the best from my performance. So changing that up now and doing it the way you coached us to do in that technique workshop, that just elevates it for me massively.
Yeah, again, not blowing my own trumpet, but that's one of the reasons, like, I was skeptical online is like the only issue is training.
Yeah.
Like because I'm not there. Whereas when I was PT for 4 or 5 years, you know, I'm there every time, and then that's all I see.
Yeah.
And then nutrition's the bit that needs a little bit help with. So for me, it's like sat down with Adam and said, you know, we need to sort. That's the one area that I would really like to knuckle down with. How can we do that?
Yeah.
And we came up with the monthly technique workshop just because weekly is too frequent.
Yeah.
Anything more than a month is too non-frequent.
Yeah.
So like a monthly one is, again, you got new people coming into the program. So new people come in every single month, so they can come to the first one. I say come to as many as you need. Because it's not necessarily just about like getting things right. It's about am I working at the right intensity? And it's good for us to see that. Again, people have options to put form videos and stuff like that, but there's nothing like one-to-one in person or coaching. Like that's why we do it. Like we miss it from our end because we don't do it anymore. So we were trying to incorporate that. Obviously, when you've got people in fucking Canada and all over the UK and everywhere, it's quite difficult to please everyone. But whatever we can do, we try and do. And I think that's the most important thing, because again, you'll probably say the same thing. It's like, although we're standing as online coaches or online coaching, it's not really, is it?
No, it's not. And that's the thing, because it's so interactive. It's so, you know, I've found with you, our relationship's gone really well. And obviously, like, there's that constant communication. We've obviously got the running club now. You know, there's different things going on outside of the coaching as well, which I think that's just, I think, a sort of testament to what you've set up and the way you've set it up. So it's very personal, which I think is a real positive side to it, because I think my worry with online coaches was it could be very impersonal and it could be very standoffish and a bit distant, and I think that's the opposite with TRYB. I think with TRYB it is very hands-on. It's very personal. With you, with Abby, with Adam, it works well.
Yeah, it's got to be, because as I said to everyone on call, is like, if we don't get on from day one, it's never going to work. It's a very, very close-knit relationship. It's more like a mentoring. So like, we've got to be able to get along. And the way I do that with a client on a call is, could I have a bevy with this person? If the answer is no, I don't really want to coach them. That's nothing against them, nothing against me. It's just that we need to have such a trust, honesty, communication. Otherwise, you're not going to get the most out of it. And I'm not going to get the most fulfillment out of it either.
Of course,
because again, when it's one-to-one for such a long time or whatever, it can be quite, you've got to have that trust. And that's what we've sort of built. Again, if you were to, I'm guessing you would recommend this to people, what would you say? Yeah,
definitely. I think, you know, I'm a big advocate for you and TRYB now, because of obviously what I've achieved from it. I think for anyone that's skeptical, it's just that initial introduction with you and, you know, that conversation with you to realise that actually this process can be good for you. You know, seeing the testimonials that people are doing, you know, seeing maybe clips from the workshops that you're doing and stuff like that, because I think it'll open people's horizon up to go and actually, do you know what, online isn't as scary as it might come across, or, you know, that standoff element of it isn't what it might seem, and actually it is a very personal process, and it is a process that can work for, I've got to say, anyone. You know, there's, when you look at some of the people in the group, the different levels we're all at, and you know, some of us are on a fat loss journey, some of us are on a journey where we're building size, you know, some of us are doing it for running, whatever it might be. There's a real mixed bag of people, but we're all getting results, we're all getting the same good vibes from the group, and you know, that's the main thing I'd take away from it.
No, definitely. I think, again, like, I think that the fitness industry has been fucked up by, you know, people charging like £10, £20 a month, and that's classed as online coaching, because it's not in person, because it's an app on your phone. But that online coaching is such a broad spectrum.
Definitely.
I think people have a misconception of what it actually is. Whereas, like, you know, sometimes, don't get me wrong, like, coaching's not cheap. So, like, when people come on board, for example, or initially come on board, they might be a bit skeptical about what's the price going to be and all that, because there's so many different levels, and we understand, like, it's fully one-to-one, and we're fully that way because that's all I want to do. I just don't want to do group stuff. I just want to do one-to-one work with people directly, because that's how you're going to get the best results. But people are skeptical and thinking, oh, well, it's only going to be a cheap program, and it's going to, you know, I'm going to get treated very nicely, or, you know, I'm going to get treated as a number. People do, because I've seen it. But with us, it's like, I know all of Abby's clients. Adam knows, Adam does touch points for me with my clients. So everyone's got a special relationship with him. It's like, it's the most personal thing you can get. And again, I know that it's it can be difficult for people to reach out, just to have a conversation.
Yeah.
If it's not for you, it's not for you. That's as simple as it.
And it won't be for everyone.
It won't be,
that's
definitely
part of the process. But I think, you know, it is an investment, but it's a big investment in yourself. You know, like a lot of people talk about, you know, you'll spend enough going on a night out, on clothes, on different things like that. And it's like you won't put that investment into yourself. It seems a bit daft, really.
Same. Shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes, them shoes probably the same as well, much it costs for a month.
Exactly, yeah.
Think about it like that.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And the same, like, you know, the clothes that we wear at this top probably cost more, the same as what it was for a month. So priorities and obviously invest in yourself. And again, we'll keep going because obviously, like, one of the things that I spoke to my mentor about, which is quite interesting, this is completely away from coaching, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't, but males invest. When you're looking to invest as a male, you're investing for a financial return.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So whenever you think, if you said to me, give me $1,000 and I'll make you 10, you'd give me $1,000.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say, give me $1,000 and I'll change your life, you're like, what's that look like? Because I'm not getting no financial gain back.
Yeah.
Which is difficult because I've been in that position.
Yeah.
What it is like there's a direct correlation. When you work on yourself, you'll make tenfold back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has it had an impact on career in any way?
Career it has for me in terms of, you know, I think me energy levels, me performance day in, day out has definitely got better. You know, I work in quite a stressful environment, as you know. We've talked about my job and the things that go on, and, you know, I think for me having that change now, because obviously I was training of an evening as well, whereas now I train of a morning, so that getting up, getting it done, getting the gym in first thing, I personally just feel gives you a big boost for the day. Massively. It just completely changes how that day looks. Because I know on the days where I don't train of a morning, I'm a bit more lethargic. I'm a bit more, you know, things take a bit more effort, take a bit more time. So I think from career-wise, obviously I'm in a position where I've got to be on the ball all the time. I've got to be sharp. I've got to be focused on what I'm doing. So I think having that mindset now that's changed through the coaching, I think it's definitely helped me in my career.
Yeah, definitely. Again, you're right in saying that. Again, like, training in the morning, like, when people usually, the standard routine in the Western society is you get up, you have breakfast, you go to work, you're reactive. Like, as soon as someone says something or bad email, whatever, the day is just ruined. The chances of you going to the gym is just getting slimmer by the hour in the evening time. Whereas if you start the day with working on yourself, you walk in basically like Captain America, like, everyone's just bouncing off you.
Different mindsets. Like, as soon as you've trained, I just feel it doesn't matter who you are and what level you're at. If you've been in the gym, whether it's just for like a light jog, even a walk on a treadmill, you know, that's enough for when you walk out, you go, I feel better now.
I'm done.
Like, I feel better about myself. I feel better about the day. I'm off to a good start. And, you know, I think that flows right down through the rest of the day then.
Yeah, like 5 a.m. club is fucking ridiculous, by the way.
It's hard work.
It's hard work, but like, if you used to get up and work on yourself for that morning time, when I've done, like, I think I've mastered my routine in terms of what I like and how I sort of suits me. Yeah. But back in the day when I used to train early, and I'd done a run, I'd have journaled or whatever, I was done by 7:30. Yeah. Anything could have hit me that day and I'd be absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's just a little side tangent of working in the training in the morning. But anything else you want to add? Any brain shoot the shit as we put in the check-in form?
No, I think, you know, it's been a new journey for me. Obviously, we're doing online coaching. You know, it's different to what I've been used to before in terms of training, coaching, you know, how I've done things, even nutrition and stuff like that. Because, you know, I've always been conscious of what I eat, but I've never tracked it. You know, I think that's another thing that I think to people can feel a bit overwhelming. You know, the thought of having to check your calories, see what's in it, track it, you know, make a note of everything that you're eating. It just becomes part of life. It becomes part of day in, day out. And, you know, as you know, I'm very routine. So I'll eat the same meals for 4 weeks continuously and not care.
Yeah, but you are quite fussy with your food.
I'm fussy, I'm fussy and I'm a bit picky. But, like, once I've found something, I'm done. I'm good with it. Do you know, I can have it for 3-4 weeks. Chicken. Yeah, every day for the last 4 or 5 weeks. But, you know, I think little things like that, I know personally, I always found, like, quite intimidating. And the thought of having to do those little bits, you know, even like the taking the pictures element, you know, like I said to you, you know, yesterday morning, taking a picture in the gym in the changing rooms, you know, I had to do the 3 poses on the app. I wouldn't have done that 12 weeks ago. You know, I wouldn't have had the confidence to stand in the changing room with other people in there or walking past or looking at me and have me top off and take pictures. So, you know, I think everything outside your comfort zone feels daunting. But I think this process is something that took me outside my comfort zone, and I've reaped the rewards of it since. And, you know, I think I'm only going to continue to do that. 10Ks, half marathons, hopefully a full marathon. You know, all these little things there. 12 weeks and before would have seemed a million miles off. You know, I'm doing them now. I'm on my way towards them. I've got goals set. I'm achieving them, and I'm keep continuing to set them.
Crazy. 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
It's not long.
It's been a quick journey, but it's been a good one.
It's not long. 12 weeks, and like it's 10 weeks till Christmas.
Yeah.
It's 12 weeks till the end of the year. Let's say.
Yeah.
12 weeks till 2023.
Yeah.
What you could achieve in them time frame is insane.
Yeah.
And again, if you implement, if you action, if you listen, if you know, have focus on yourself, you know, don't get caught up in shit and just work on yourself.
Yeah.
You can achieve anything. So
definitely.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, mate. And thank you for the help and the support, because couldn't have done it without you. So
no, anytime. But yeah, look forward to Ben's journey in the future. Trust me.